We are done with the pre-game festivities and we're ready to face off. Panthers versus Steelers. I'm Eddie and with me is Steven Schultz. Welcome, Steven.
How's it going, Eddie?
It's all good. Panthers in black, Steelers in the traveling whites today. A Sunday matinee. As Brad Moran, it's great to see him out there. He took a bit of a hit back in Cardiff, but he's all good as this 7,000 person crowd is already all behind this home team. That outlet pass was for Uri Kolnick. He gets it in. Cam Jansen working on the perimeter. He gets pinned down. Ben O'Connor will just launch it around. Jeff Dimon keeps it in. He'll send it wide on purpose. Panthers working below the goal line. And that's Colton Feder. He's looking for an outlet pass. Clears it, and now Jeff Dimon goes to DD to Brian Schmidt. That pass a bit too far ahead, but Robert Farmer is there to mop it up as he's cutting in laterally. Couple of hits being dished out here early, setting the tone of the game as David Clark is going to go give chase. He'll finish a nice looking body check and Steelers come back the other way. That's Kyle Hardy. This is his home debut. Mika Weekman forced to stick it away. David Clark showing that he can hang on his stilts early. Jeff Wass going to go and try to retrieve it. And Steelers score first. 18:34 left of the opening period. The Steelers find a way. Andy Bombach's gonna go meet Tyler Mosienko at center ice for the face-off. Steelers have the early lead in this hockey game. Robert Dowd with the tally. Andy Bombach. He played around to Steve Lee, who pinwheels it to David Ling. Debian making his first appearance here at the National Ice Center since he was picked up. Tries to spin and score, but Evan Mosey has other ideas. He tries to do the old dipsy doodle around him, but can't get past him. Paul Swindlehurst with some real estate opts to just chip it in deep. And we're going to have a stoppage in play. 17:59 left of the opening period. Steelers are up first. Schultz, when you concede a goal so early, what do you need to think about to get back on track?
You know, with that type of goal there, it's just one of those things. They threw it to the front of the net from behind, and they were just in the right spot. And now we just have to, get back to our game plan. Had a good first shift, and got the puck down deep. But I'm sure the guys are awake now.
Sheffield Steelers looking to perform a controlled breakout, opt to go to the right flank. They just tip it forward, and Brian Schmidt gets there first. Matthew Raw will try to pester him. Cool as a cucumber is Brian Schmidt, who played it to Dimon, and now Matthew Myers coming down the left. He'll anchor down. Finds Brian Schmidt in prime goal-scoring area. In that high slot area, couldn't quite get a shot to go on net. Jeff Dimon will retrace his steps. And that's Ollie Betteridge. No one there, so he just decides to go cross corner and go for a change. Brad Moran on the ice, along with Cam Jansen and Uri Kolnick. You'll have seen Coach Corey Nielsen has tinkered his lines a bit as of late. Seemed to work well in Cardiff. Cam Jansen at the half wall, never gets the puck. As Sheffield Steelers in possession, working the perimeter. Jeff Dimon tried to pick the pocket of Dowd. Dowd somehow manages to keep it in. On the exterior, the Sheffield Steelers. Steve Lee with an active stick. Almost managed to steal that. And that's Levi Nelson centering pass to Chris Lawrence, but Uri Kolnick gets it instead. Tried to get around his man there, but couldn't. Brad Moran eventually picks up the residue and D2D from Paul Swindlehurst to Steve Lee. Steve Lee with some real estate. He'll just slap it into the cushions of Marek Pinch. Welcome to the game, Marek. Steve Lee keeps it in. And Russ Moyer with the puck, and we're going to have a stoppage in play as offside is going to be the call. 16:16 left of the opening period. Erding Services, the match sponsors tonight. And this is what I was talking about when I said Coach Corneliusson has been tinkering lines. Farmer, Bomback, Clark are out there. What do you expect of this line, Schultze?
You're definitely going to see a lot of energy out of David and Robert, and Andy, being the smart player he is, will try and control the middle of the ice and look to set up David. He seems to have a hot stick right now.
The youngster Ferreira coming hot on the forecheck. Tato Marcienko had it. Passed right onto the blade of Andy Bomback. He says thank you very much as Farmer will bank it off the apron. Marek pinches out to play it. Uses that forehand off the glass to his teammate. David Clark picks it up in the neutral zone. He'll just peel off and opt to go with the backhand to Jeff Waugh. He finds his mate Paul Swindlehurst. That carom was not corralled by Andy Bomback, and Steelers in possession. Trying to break out of the zone. Opt to do so on the right flank. Matthew Roy with a backhand attempt. Mika Weekman gets the glove on it, and he gets run over a bit there. Jeff Waugh's going to take exception to that. The hand is up from the official. And boos vibrating through the National Ice Center here. Looks like Matthew Raw didn't have much of a play there, just kind of threw the backhand on net and took out Mika as well.
Yeah, we'll see Panthers here go to a power play and hopefully convert on it.
The power play 50% effective last night out of 6 opportunities. If you watched the webcast from Cardiff, you would have seen Kyle Hardy quarterbacking that power play. It's a different look that Coach Corneliusson has given the power play unit. Speaking of the power play unit, Evan Mosey's now also on the second wave, I believe. David Ling at the half wall. Chris Lawrence tries to pester him. David Clark took it with his backhand and teed one up. Andy Bomback beats Westberg. David Clark tried to get in the slot after a pass. Kyle Hardy, and he sizzled one wide. Chris Lawrence to clear. Mika Weekman's out on net to play it. Steelers change their penalty killing personnel. That pass ahead of Andy Bomback. And now it's Desbiens. Kyle Hardy says no, and Matthew Myers will pick up the loose puck. Carrying the beanbag forward is Matthew Myers. Tried to play it to the left. That bouncing puck eluded the Panthers, and they're forced to recoil. Robert Farmer to redeem the puck. And now Kyle Hardy is looking to execute a controlled breakout. Hewitt took away the Kolnick option, so he opts to go with Farmer instead. All the way length of the pond, and Mika Weekman forced to play it. Steve Lee looking to have another jab at it. Turned over, and Jason Hewitt's coming in. He just has a shot. Steve Lee was there quickly to erase that opportunity. Mika Weekman saw it all the way. Uri Kolnick at the left flank. He'll hit the brakes. Finds Steve Lee at point position, give and go. He's walking in, finds Brad Moran at the half wall. Assessing his options, Uri Kolnick can't get any wood on it, and Sheffield Steelers clear. 20 seconds left of the power play for the Nottingham Panthers. Not much to show for it so far on the power play. There's still time though. The outlet pass to Robert Lakovich. Ben O'Connor's swing and a miss, but they managed to get the biscuit to the other side of the table. Brian Schmidt, bank pass off the yellow plating, and now Jeff Dimmons looking which man to go to. Robert Lakovich receives it on his backhand, and he's going to turn on the Jets and tries to find Ollie Betteridge through that pass, through the Steeler. Ollie Betteridge eager to dig in. Steelers just play back and behind the net, looking to perform a planned breakout here. That pass was elevated, and Levi Nelson gets it. He's coming down the goal line, tried to go on his backhand, but couldn't have the finishing strike. Now Andy Bomback's coming in. Robert Down giving him a hard time. Cam Jansen lets one go. And a loose puck in the slot. Marek Pinch equal to the task. Andy Bomback backhanded over to Jeff Dimon. He sends one in, that's blocked. Bomback in possession, Jeff Waugh in point position. Crowd getting fired up, Lakovic just tips it on. Cam Janssen can't corral, and it's ladled out of the zone. Icing is going to be the infraction here, as Jeff Waugh beats his man to the foot race. That shift was looking strong in terms of offensive zone time, wasn't it, Schultz?
Yeah, definitely got pucks to the net, and Cam did a great job being a great net front presence there. So just keep getting pucks to the net and, you know, create a lot of pressure down low.
12-12 left of the opening frame here. Matthew Myers, all present and accounted for with his running mates, David Clark and David Ling as well. Waugh and Kyle Hardy are the D-men out there. Sharp angle shot there. Steelers get clogged in the neutral zone. Loose twig on the ice. Kyle Hardy will go out to play it. Cross-rink pass and just ladled in deep by Chris Lawrence. Matthew Waugh is the one to win that foot race. Zach Fitzgerald coming in dangerously. David Clark erases that, however. Matthew Myers, nice heads-up play to find the streaking David Ling. And he'll find Kyle Hardy. Back to David Ling. He has a shot. That was deadened. Zach Fitzgerald, when in doubt, get it out play. And he used the glass to do so. However, that was an icing call. And Panthers with an offensive zone face-off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is some traditional Japanese music called the Fisherman. Have you ever heard of that?
No, this is a new one on me.
A big deal over there in Asia with our Asian friends. Brad Moran's going to try to fish it out. Can't though. Matthew Waugh, easily recognizable by that beard, also leading point scorer last year. He got it out. Brian Schmidt dishes it on to Uri Kolnick. He sends it back immediately. And wise decision as well as Sheffield Steelers change personnel. Ben O'Connor working below his goal line. Fanned on the pass though. Brad Moran gets the loose biscuit. Now Uri Kolnick operating at the exterior. The Steelers managed to win that 50-50 battle and get it all the way into the Panthers defensive zone. Jace Coyle will recoil. Cam Janssen was in on the forecheck there. Brian Schmidt, what a magician that guy. Used net as shelter, and DeBia can't get to him. Played it to his left where he found Jeff Dim, and Andy Bomback tried to one-touch pass it over to Bedridge, and the puck is out of play. We're 15 seconds away, folks, from the halfway mark of the opening stanza here at the National Ice Center. Sunday matinee, big rivalry game. GMB Panthers versus Sheffield Steelers. The hosts, of course, in your black, and Steelers in their traveling whites. Face-off won by the Sheffield Steelers. Steve Lee's dared to claim the loose puck. He uses the boards cleverly and plays it over to his running mate, Paul Swindlehurst. Chris Lawrence there to make a nuisance. Finds Ollie Bedridge, who was moving laterally through the neutral zone. Robert Lakovic wins that 50-50 battle. Chris Lawrence will chip it in deep. Andy Bomback with a nice move past Nelson. He's coming down the right with that backhand pass. Can't reach his man though. Steelers come back the other way. Levi Nelson tries to leave it over for Russ Moyer, who's jumping into the play. Ollie Bedridge trying to take care of him. A hot potato behind the goal of the Panthers. At the half wall, Sheffield Steelers, Levi Nelson. That was gloved by Vestberg, and Robert Lakovic coming with Ollie Bedridge here. A 2-on-2. He has a shot that's blockered away by Marek Pinch. Fretter uses his skate to corral that puck unsuccessfully in the end, as David Clark managed to get in the way of that. Zach Fitzgerald with the diagonal pass to Matthew Roy. Kyle Hardy will be there to tend to him. 7,000 officials in the stands reckon that was a hooking call, but it wasn't, and what a goal! Steelers get a bounce to go their way. David Clark is not happy with the referee for letting that go. Either way, Steelers up by 2 goals here, and 8:45 left of the opening period. Matthew Raw will also go there and have a conference with the officials.
Almost looked like there was a form of kicking motion there. Tried to redirect it, but it also looked like a kick, so it'll be interesting to see what the outcome is.
Discussions going on at ice level, and we're going to see the eventual decision here.
Looks like it's going to be overturned.
Goal overturned, indeed. Sheffield Steelers still only up by 1 goal. And the Panthers really needed that call, didn't they, Schultze?
Yeah, definitely. That's two there, right in front of the crease there for Mika, and luckily it was waved off. Right, I believe it was the right call.
Seems the hockey gods are unbiased so far. 1 call go in the way of Sheffield Steelers and 1 the Nottingham Panthers. Brad Moran wins the face-off against Tyler Mosienko, wearing number 21. Paul Swindlehurst goes DDD to Steve Lee. He hits the stick of David Ling, and that just launches up and deep into the zone. Evan Mosey's there. He's got quite a battery in his skates, always moving his feet swiftly. Now Tyler Mosienko coming in, sharp angle shot. That was wide. Jace Coyle forced to go all the way back into the zone, and just we were talking about, Evan Mosey's out there. In on the forecheck, finds David Ling. David Ling with a bid and a 10-bell save. Andy Bombach's going to take this face-off. It's going to happen to the right of Pinch. Panthers gain possession. Pinch will smother. Pinch, native of Czech Republic. Most recently played in Kazakhstan. And we're going to have one more of these face-offs to the right of Pinch. Andy Bombach won't win it against Chris Lawrence. And Sheffield Steelers get it out. Jeff Waugh is on it first. Levi Nelson and Jeff Waugh colliding into the boards. And we're going to have a call go against the Sheffield Steelers here. Panthers on the power play. 7:49 left of the opening frame, folks.
7 minutes 49 seconds remain in the first with perfect services. And it's power play time for the Panthers.
Matthew Myers, surprise, surprise, going to take the offensive zone face-off on the power play. He likes to take those face-offs and perhaps park himself in front of the goaltenders. David Ling working the exterior, tried to uncork one, but that got blocked. David Ling forced to go back to defensive zone, plays the lateral pass to Kyle Hardy, who got his first Panther point last night with a power play assist on Uri Kolnick's tally. Andy Bomback gets it in deep. Gets it back again. A little give and go there with his running mate. Kyle Hardy at point position and back to Andy Bomback. The cross ice pass to David Ling. Put some mustard on that one, but that just went wide. Matthew Myers walking out. Now David Clark. David Ling trying to fend off the penalty killers. Using those golden hands of his. I see what he was trying to do there. He found a seam, but the penalty killers just got a stick in that lane. Kyle Hardy had a two hard penalty killers fortunately. Now Brad Moran to Uri Kolnick. He'll put down the anchors. There's a little twirl by the half wall. Plays it behind net to Robert Farmer, give and go. Now Steve Lee in point position. He can let one go, and he did. That ramped up, however. Brad Moran over to Robert Farmer. He's looking to walk out. Instead, he goes with a pass, and what a goal! Panthers power play hits pay dirt. 6:15 left of the opening frame, and the tying goal coming at such a crucial time. Schultz, talk about Evan Mosey getting some power play time. That's certainly paying off.
Yeah, definitely. Evan's playing great the last couple weeks, and his numbers have obviously shown. And a great cycle by Moran and Farmer. And Farmer was able to walk out and sauce one to the back post to Mosey, who finished it off there.
Panthers leveled the count, and it's one apiece. Brad Moran called up to take the face-off against Chris Lawrence. Fretter played it back to his D. That's Ben O'Connor. Jeff Demon ladled on to Brian Schmidt. Backhand over to Brad Moran, who just extended his stick, gets it to Kolnick. And now Cam Jansen's giving this chase. Ben O'Connor managed to play to Matthew Raw. And we're going to have a bit of a tussle here. Colton Freder and Uri Kolnick, firecrackers at center ice. 5:52 left of the opening period. I did not see how that started off, but I'm seeing how it's progressing, and it's looking to be quite a spicy game, folks. Cam Jansen talking to Matthew Raw, whispering sweet nothings. And the linesmen were there quickly to break this up. Colton Freder is going to sit in the Fortress of Solitude, as is Uri Kolnick.
There's no penalty boxes sponsored by Solutions for Accounting. Big business software solutions.
Did you catch how that play sparked?
I think Freder went to finish his hit on Uri and came up high, and then Freder went back at him, and that's what I saw.
I believe Uri Kolnick got the wrong glove delivered to his penalty box, and he opts to launch it over the half wall.
Any notes for the Steelers? Anyone here with the Panthers?
Brian Schmidt coming to exchange the couple words with the Super Slovak. Perhaps just looking to hear his account. As David Clark will be out there, still talking to the referee tonight. Goals one apiece for the bitter rivals. Evan Mosey finding the net for the GMB Nottingham Panthers. It looks like we finally settled the scores here, and play is going to continue. Looks like tempers are flaring here. Schultze is. How do you respond as a player being part of these games where clearly adrenaline is pumping really hard?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime you can get your team going, and I think that's what Freder was trying to do after Uri tied the game, or we tied the game up there.
Lawrence wins the face-off. Levi Nelson receives a hard pass. And he'll get in deep. Coincidental penalties here. So we're going to have 5-on-5 hockey still. Andy Bombach showing where he wants that puck drop. Chris Lawrence looking quite sturdy on the faceoff dot tonight. Jace Coyle will go back and play forward. Coming in hot down the left, Levi Nelson plays it to the slot. Chris Lawrence couldn't get a stick on it. Kyle Hardy was there to tie him up. Lakwich off the yellow plating to Andy Bombach. He'll backhand it over to Lacko. He just delays the puck loose in the slot. Nobody can bank it home. Bit of a run and gun sequence here. Mika Weekman says no dice. Does well to make that lateral movement and cover up the net. 5:12 left of the first period here, folks. Everything Services, the match sponsors. 1-1 is the score. We have Uri Kolnick and Colton Freder sitting in their respective penalty boxes. And those two are certainly both important for their respective teams. Bit of line management forced by Paul Thompson and Corey Nielsen. Evan Mosey, that's off the apron. That puck never left the offensive zone, so Panthers are not offside. Marek Pinch gives his marching orders to his D. Sarich played it back. David Ling's there to intercept it. That's Tyler Mosienko. He'll play to his right. A 3-on-2 developing here. Mika Weekman forced to get the mattress out for that one. Steve Lee getting the better of Mosienko in that board battle. Bit of a log jam behind the Panthers goal here. Paul Swindlehurst off the boards to Evan Mosey. He'll take the hit to make the play, which was to clear the puck. And we'll have a change in personnel. Matthew Myers to retrieve. On to shielded Jeff Dimon. Onwards to Brian Schmidt. Reactivates Jeff Dimon. Matthew Myers digging in. Robert Farmer behind the goal line. Trying to fend off the Sheffield Steelers' sharp angle shot by Clark. Was maybe hoping Matthew Myers to tip it in, but he got tied up. That's Jason Hewitt. He'll just get it north. Brian Schmidt redeems the puck. Matthew Myers finds a streaking Jeff Dimon, who'll go to the right and use the D-man as a screen. That came right at Marek Pinch. He was forced to just shoot it up. David Clark. Panthers in the offensive zone. Robert Lakovich was in on the forecheck, pinwheeled away by Matthew Roy, and Brian Schmidt gets some sauce on it. Perhaps to just know in particular and trying to get it out and buy himself some time to go for a line change. Kyle Hardy gets wiped out. Cam Jansen was there to intercept that pass that ensued. Mika Weekman forced to get his paraphernalia on it. Sheffield Steelers backhand pass by Levi Nelson. Kyle Hardy was there to spoil it. And he looks eager, certainly. He's done a lot this shift. That's off the apron. Evan Mosey finds the carom. Steelers coming through the neutral zone on a transitional play. Levi Nelson shielded the puck away quite well there, in fact. That's played to center. Not corralled by Robert Dowd initially and can't get the shot away. Cam Jansen taking care of his defensive responsibilities there. Two-point position and a shot. That goes wide. At least it ricocheted wide. Evan Mosey tying the stick up of Tyler Mosienko. Colnetti retracing his steps. And Zach Fitzgerald on the weak side. Paul Swindlehurst collects the carom off the end boards. Ollie Betteridge can't get that pass to go forward. Certainly a feisty opening period here, folks. Just a little less than 1.5 minutes left here. David Ling on the counterpunch. Too far ahead for Brad Moran. And Steelers get it in deep to buy themselves an opportunity to change up lines. Steve Lee backhanded over to David Ling. That puck didn't go all the way in. We're gonna have a stoppage in play here. 62 ticks left of the opening period. Kolnick and Fretter released from the sin bin. And we're gonna have a face-off at center ice. Myers just giving the marching orders for Uri Kolnick there, who just exited the penalty box. Jeff Dimon tried to swat that away. Mika Weekman goes on the butterfly to get that away. Frederick Vestberg is trying to throw something at net. Mika Weekman was there to cover it though. Kolnick unhappy with Fretter, and they have not had enough. You can see they're still chirping each other. Kolnick and Fretter are. Exchanging pleasantries through the tail end of this shift and between the whistles. Still 40 ticks left of the opening period. Robert Farmer asking Matthew Raw if he wants to go. That was a negative. What do you reckon, Schultz? Is it going to boil over soon? With all
I
these
think so. Tempers are flaring right now, so hold on to your seats here.
Still 40 seconds left of this period. Rod Sarich gets the pass laterally across to his teammate. Jeff Dimon was there to get the cross corner dump. Levi Nelson behind the net. Not until Schmidt got his stick on it. Matthew Myers just trying to shield it away. That's Brian Schmidt behind the net. Jeff Dimon passed a little bit behind of Matthew Myers, so he'll pass it back to Schmidt. Cross-rink passes all the way around. Pinch hesitates to come out to play it, but does in the end. Rod Sarich with the outlet pass. He'll opt to go off the apron. And that's the opening period, folks. 1-1 is the score. And in 15 minutes, we'll see you again as Robert Farmer is going back for seconds. This time with Jason Hewitt. And as Schultz just predicted there, it might boil over soon. We'll see if there's much residue left in the second and third periods. But the ingredients on the recipe certainly look like they're going to go Zach Fitzgerald challenging Cam Jansen. Remember, folks, this is the end of the period, so referee keeping Cam Jansen away. Oh dear my, pandemonium almost breaking loose. Zach Fitzgerald certainly wants a piece of pretty much any Nottingham Panther. Didn't quite get him yet. Perhaps a bit more clever to not drop the mitts after the period is over, so well done to keep their composure, but wow. If this doesn't get your heart pumping, then I don't know what will. What a second act is coming up, folks. Stay tuned. right, folks, second stanza time. On the face-off dot, we have Frederick Vesberg for the Traveling Whites and Brad Moran for the Boys in Black. That caromed over to Brad Moran. He plays it laterally to Cam Jansen, who's at the half wall. Buzzes that one wide. Brad Moran sends it right back where it came from. Cam Jansen misfiring there, a hit against Ben O'Connor. Ben O'Connor pokes it away. Juraj Kolnick is the beneficiary of that move. Brad Moran almost got the puck turned over behind the net as Sheffield Steelers managed to clear. Brian Schmidt using those powerful legs of his to get the puck, and that was a cross-ring pass diagonal to Juraj Kolnick, who's at the half wall, finds Brian Schmidt, who was streaking in. And certainly shown this season he can powder those past goaltenders. Speaking of, there comes the bid by Brian Schmidt. Kyle Hardy trying to get a stick into it. David Clark gloves that one down, and Marek Pinch will freeze. That's the first 65 ticks of the second stanza, folks, and Panthers have managed to set up an offensive zone face-off. On the blue line, Kyle Hardy and Jeff Waugh. Farmer, Clark, and Matthew Myers round up the men on the ice. Myers, known for his face-off capabilities. Tyler Mosienko looking to answer the bell. Does so successfully. Farmer got boxed out by Russ Moyer, and Sheffield Steelers managed to gain center ice. Kyle Hardy over to Farmer, who just deflected it underneath the McDonald's logo. David Clark below the goal line, centering pass. Matthew Myers can't swat it away. Clark has no twig. And that's Debien. Jeff Waugh will lasso him. Tyler Mosienko, centering pass, and they score. Colin Eddy. .18:20 left of the second stanza. We did not mention as well that the shots were 9-13 in favor of the visitors. And Schultze Steelers managed to get up early again in the period. Is there a difference between scoring early in the period as opposed to anywhere else during the hockey game? Because are those momentum changers, those early period goals?
Yeah, definitely. If you can come out and get one in the first minute or two, it kind of sets the tone for the period. And now we have to play catch up and try and get back into it here.
Jeff Dibben, he's going to do the cha-cha slide out of the zone. David Ling finesses it over to center. Zach Fitzgerald was there to meet it. D-to-D to Colin Eddy. Tries to send a diagonal pass, intercepted by Evan Mosey. Evan Mosey has some running room. Saucer pass hits Matthew Roy on the way. Speaking of, he'll bank it off the wall to Colin Eddy, who'll get it forward. Speaking of forwards, he played a couple games, I believe, as a forward. Recently, Chris Lawrence fans on that attempt. Levi Nelson with the second chance. Mika Weekman out of position, but Andy Bomback, he's gonna shimmy along and bring it all the way into the defensive zone. Ollie Bettridge gets sandwiched, and the hand is up. Elbowing is gonna be the call. Ollie taking exception. And Colton Fretter is gonna get the gate. Panthers have an opportunity on the power play, and I'm sure this is not how Corey Nielsen scripted, the period to go, but it did work last time as well. Steelers score first, and then Panthers come back on the power play.
Yeah, hopefully they repeat itself here.
Brad Moran and Chris Lawrence called up to the dot. Brad Moran getting excused. And it's going to be the Super Slovak Juraj Kolnick who's going to take his place. Evan Mosey hustling to keep that puck in. Over to Juraj Kolnick at the half wall. Cross rink to Brad Moran in his office. He's on his off wing. Can't get the backhand pass to go. Fredrik Westberg was there to erase it. Brad Moran receives the puck, looking for the breakout pass. Gets it to Steve Lee, who was coming in hot. Robert Farmer got it briefly. That play was onside. And I think from our vantage point, it looked like that puck might have stayed in, but either way, the linesman seems to be pretty determined that that was offside, despite Steve Lee's volleyball skills to keep that in. And 16:35 left of the second period here. 1:29 left of the power play for the GB Nottingham Panthers, so about a quarter way into the man advantage. Tyler Mosienko and Matthew Myers to meet at the face-off dot. Myers wins it cleanly to Kyle Hardy. Got it to Lingham back to Kyle Hardy. It's quite a fancy-looking pickup. Fancy Dan over there. He gets muscled out by the penalty killers, and that's Debian. He'll play it back to kill as much time as possible. Marek Pinch is out to play the puck. That's slapped cross corner. Of course, no icing on the play as Sheffield Steelers are on the penalty kill, and Andy Bomback a bit too much ahead for Matthew Myers. Anyway, the puck's in the zone, and as I said, that's right out. Mika Weekman getting the leather on it, and Kyle Hardy turning on a dime, and he's coming in hot. He gets stopped by Zach Fitzgerald, and Mika Weekman out to play the puck. 35 seconds left of the man advantage. David Ling in possession now. Relayed on to David Clark, who's coming in laterally. Shot, Marek Pinch stopped it. Ling couldn't keep it in, and Steve Lee is forced to backpedal. Lee cutting across, motoring in is David Ling. He'll take a slapper. That rebound trickled to the right of Marek Pinch. That puck was elevated, and Andy Bomback couldn't get wood on it, and it's out. Even strength hockey again, folks. Colton Fritter has served his time in jail. 15:04 left of the second period. 1-2 is the score in favor of the visiting Sheffield Steelers. We have a face-off here at center ice. Fredrik Westberg, native of Sweden, is going to take it against Brad Moran, native of Abbotsford, Canada. That's played over to Jace Coyle. Fakes the slapper and goes behind the net intentionally. Matthew Raw over to point position. That's Jace Coyle. He winds and shoots. Mika Weekman will smother. 14:50 left of the second stanza, folks. Face-off is going to happen to the left of Mika Weekman. Colton Fretter will be taking the face-off against Brad Moran. Ben O'Connor gets it with a skate and shoots, hits his own man, I believe. And now Ollie Betteridge coming back the other way. No icing on the play. I believe it hit a Steeler on the way in. Backpedaling Brian Schmidt corrals it. Evading the stick of Matthew Raw. Played over to Dimon, and Dimon got it below the goal line. Moran digging in on the forecheck. Fretter, touch backhand. Over to center. GB Nottingham Panthers made the better of it though. That wasn't the first time Steelers are looking for that stretch pass as they change personnel. Evan Mosey coming in, protecting the puck. Can't spin around to get anything on it. Good defensive play by Russ Moyer. A log jam by the corner involving Chris Lawrence and Russ Moyer, as well as Uri Kolnick for the Panthers. Cross corner. Now Robert Dowd activating the cycle. Gets the loose biscuit off the boards and over to Evan Mosey. He'll decide to boogie through the neutral zone. That's over to Uri Kolnick. A carom that goes towards Pinch. Wasn't so much of a hard shot, but more of an unexpected shot, but he gets it anyway. Point position, Rod Saric finds a free man in the slot. Mika Weekman doing well to make the initial save, but they cash in the residue. And Steelers up by 2. 13-12 left of the second period. And the Panthers find themselves in some hot water. What kind of things do you reckon Coach Corey Nielsen is saying to his troops right now?
Just got to get back to our game plan, getting pucks deep and finishing our hits on their D-men, and pretty much just a forecheck has kind of been lacking right now.
That was the voice of the insightful Steven Schultz right there. Paul Swindlehurst, DDD to Steve Lee. As that puck deflected into the crowd. Yeah, I believe it hit some metal work there, and we're all good. Face off at center ice. Manning the blue lines, Paul Swindlehurst and Steve Lee. Up front, David Clark, Robert Farmer, and the Welshman Matthew Myers. Mosienko gets that face-off. David Clark, great hustle. Over to center ice, Steve Lee finds Robert Farmer with some real estate. Pinch goes out, but opts to not play it. Paul Swindlehurst skating backwards, hinges on to Robert Farmer. And that's Ferreira. Plays it to Tyler Mosienko below the goal line, and Paul Swindlehurst was there. Myers tried to deflect it forward. Debian was there to make sure the pressure stays. Steve Lee finds at his own half wall. Paul Swindlehurst gets a clamp on it. That pass got intercepted, but Panthers managed to get it out. Albeit Steelers have possession. Fretter gets it neatly out of the air. Good hand-eye. Fretter coming in. The dipsy doodle gives the old how do you do. Delayed penalty here. Jace Coyle keeps it on the blue line. Steve Lee tries to gain body position. And also will get possession. Panthers go on the penalty kill. Steve Lee, according to the referee, is guilty of a slashing infraction. That's going to be a minor against the Nottingham Panthers, and it's a big kill for the boys, isn't it, Schultz?
Yeah, definitely. We can hopefully get some momentum back with this kill. And
Andy Bombach on face-off duties. Frederick Vestberg, his counterpart. Mika Weekman bravely playing it out. Now Robert Lakovich giving it chase. And now Steelers looking to break out. Finessed over to his man over there. Nelson from the half wall gets it in low. Eddie intentionally wide, but that was ramped up by Brian Schmidt. A neat looking pass by Ben O'Connor, but Matthew Raw could not get a clamp on it. Back to Ben O'Connor. Seems to be getting around the Panthers there, and Matthew Raw puts on the brakes and changes direction twice. But that's out of the zone. D to D, Eddie to Ben O'Connor. Now Frederick Vestberg trying to make a move. That puck loose in the slot. beneficiaries of that, the Sheffield Steelers. Brian Schmidt on the penalty kill, doing a good job to erase that. We've still got 45 seconds left of the power play for the Sheffield Steelers. Evan Mosey below the goal line over to Brad Moran. That's a bobbling puck and he can't corral it initially. Does so eventually, and Jeff Waugh gets in his own zone on the hinge to Paul Swindlehurst, and he'll just send it in deep. Stick save by Marek Pinch. Routine, and Matthew Myers in on the forecheck. Finds Juraj Kolnick in prime real estate. Tries to go below the goal line. Use that backhand, back it off Pinch. A great looking opportunity, but Kolnick can't cash it in. 6 seconds away from the halfway mark of regulation, both in this period and this game. Face off to the right of Marek Pinch. 18 seconds left of the power play. Matthew Myers on face-off duties. Steelers managed to break out down the right side. Matthew Myers loses his twig. Robert down over to Mike. Lost the ankle one time, and that would not go. We're gonna have a tripping call against Matthew Myers. 3 seconds of 5-on-3. And it's difficult to generate momentum from the penalty box, isn't it, Schultze?
Yeah, it definitely is. He had a penalty almost killed off there, and fortunately have another one now to work on.
Face off to the right of Mika Weekman. Matthew Myers obviously an important piece for the Nottingham Panthers. Regardless, it is what it is. As Andy Bomback excused from the face-off dot. Evan Mosey's there to answer the bell. Steve Lee is out of the box. Marek Pinch goes out to relay it over to Colin. Coming in through the neutral zone, that was Frederick Westberg. Levi Nelson was there, but that was erased. Evan Mosey coming in hot. That looked like a high stick from our vantage point, not intentional, but this is going to be 137 of 5-on-3 for the Sheffield Steelers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Evan Mosey was just trying to get a stick lift going and it just got a bit too high.
Yeah, definitely. Normally that's usually the case in those situations.
A tall task for the Nottingham Panthers on the penalty kill. .137 with 5-on-3 time for the visiting Sheffield Steelers. Frederick Westberg on face-off duties for the Whites. Brian Schmidt gets in his skates, can't get it out, and now Dowd controlling it over to Ben O'Connor. Relayed back to Dowd, and now below the goal line. That's Dowd. One touch pass to Ben O'Connor. They opt to work the exterior here. Matthew Raw in the slot. Ben O'Connor on the interchange with Dowd. Back to Ben O'Connor, has a shot. Mika Weekman can't corral in his glove. Certainly got that trapper on it. Back to exterior, Sheffield Steelers. Faking the shot there. Looking for that slot guy. Ben O'Connor comes there and gets the loose puck. Mika Weekman, great lateral movement. Colton Freder doesn't have much net to shoot at in that position. Now behind the net. The crowd getting behind the home side here. Ben O'Connor with a shot. Andy Bomback can't get it out. Ben O'Connor was there to clamp it down. Frederick Westberg, short side, beauty. .8:16 left of the second period. And Steelers strike on the power play. Not much Mika could do there, just above the trapper.
Yeah, it was definitely a great shot by, was that Vesberg, I think?
Yeah, that's right.
Well placed.
Jeff Waugh off the apron and over to Jace Coyle, who will glove that down. Robert Lakovich peels off the forecheck, considering it is, of course, the penalty kill. Panthers still have to attend to. And 30 seconds of that penalty kill still remain. Evan Mosey still sitting in the Fortress of Solitude after Colonetti managed to draw the high-sticking call. 7:57 left in the second period, folks. We're just a bit over the halfway mark. For the score being what it is, the home crowd still seem to be supporting the home team, which is always great. Jace Coyle forced to go back. Juraj Kolnick coming in hot. Watch out. He's dishing a rough ride for Jace Coyle. Taylor Masienko gets a clamp on it, anchors down, but that pass was misplaced. Matthew Myers was there, and Marek Pinch now forced to play it. Pass softly ahead to Tyler Masienko again. This time he doesn't pull that down the anchors. Puck loose in the slot. A hot potato bouncing there. And that's Luke Ferreira. He'll play back to Colonetti. He's got some options cross rink, namely Zach Fitzgerald. Played over to Debian, and now Steve Lee using the apron. And the counter punch by the Sheffield Steelers. Debian throwing his weight around here. It's Brian Schmidt over to his fellow D partner. That's Steve Lee. And now Evan Mosey, sharp angle shot. Marek Pinch gets the glove out. And there, Evan Mosey being on his natural wing, of course. The right-handed shot coming down the right wing. I think probably one of the better things he could have done there was to generate that offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, definitely just try and get pucks to the net at this point and pick away at this lead.
Andy Bombach will meet up with Frederick Vesberg at the face-off dot. That's Russ Moyer, and he got it over to Nelson. That's Robert Dowd. He has a shot. Couldn't get it to go. Now Robert Farmer, he got 4 Sheffield Steelers around him. Paul Sundelhurst extending that long reach of his and managed to stop the puck. Behind the goal line now, Sheffield Steelers fanned on the initial pass. And Jeff Waugh will keep it in. Frederick Vesberg over to his mate Russ Moyer. And back to Vesberg. Pulls off a deke, but Paul Swindlehurst is unfooled. Swindlehurst over to Cam Jansen, and look out. He's going to dig in here. Ben O'Connor. Cam Jansen wipes out. Juraj Kolnick coming in to dish out a rough ride. Robert Dowd lowers the shoulder, extends the stiff arm, going behind the cage. Jace Coyle in point position. That puck floated, but also silenced on the way. Matthew Myers hits the yellow plate at the end board. Ben O'Connor gets it out. Cam Jansen is on the prowl. 5:28 left of the second period here, folks. And in this 5.5 minutes, Panthers really could use with a goal, and so they only have a two-goal hill to climb up in the third.
Yeah, definitely, like I said before, just try and get one here in the last 5 minutes of the second period and cut the lead in half going into the third.
Panthers the victors of that face-off. Jeff Dimon, though, had some Steelers pressure on him. Colonetti He'll get it down low. That's kept in by Colonetti. Colton Frederick there to claim the loose puck. Brad Moran will do so for the Panthers. Now Lakovic plays it to Clark. And look out, folks, on the left coming is Brad Moran, and that plays offside. .4:59 left of the middle period here at the National Ice Center. Sunday matinee, one of the fiercest rivalries in the country, perhaps Europe. 1-4 is the score for the visitors. Andy Bomback on the face-off. He'll win it over to Steve Lee. Around the roulette wheel, and Evan Mosey's there. Rod Sarich gets straightened up by David Ling. That's Steve Lee. He sent something on net, but that was caromed away. Evan Mosey getting a good chunk of ice time today as well. David Ling tried to extend his stick, can't get it in, and now Tyler Mosienko coming back the other way. Here comes a shot. Mika Weekman stays square to the puck and manages to get his body in the way. Here comes another shot. Kick save by Mika Weekman. Doing what he can to keep the Panthers in this. Panthers on a line change, and Debian calls for it on the opposite side. Steve Lee managed to get that puck to Karam off his leg, and the pass to slot was silenced. Lawrence gets straightened up by Paul Swindlehurst. Ben O'Connor unsuccessfully going around Cam Jansen and forced to go back to center. Paul Swindlehurst trying to give chase. Levi Nelson gets around him though. That goal is perhaps not off its moorings, but Levi Nelson looks like he took a hit on the way in. And the call's not going in the favor of Nottingham Panthers here. As Robert Farmer is gonna sit out. Steelers on the power play, and this is a game-changing penalty kill for the Panthers. Still some hope left if the boys can kill this off. Not too many things going the Panthers' way in terms of the scoreline in the second period. If they can just weather the storm here. Frederick Vestberg on the face-off dot. Jeff Dimon impatiently sending it out, rightfully so. That was Colonetti coming down the right, finds Frederick Vestberg at center. He's also playing some good minutes for the visiting club tonight on the power play, a key component, of course. Brad Moran, outlet pass to Jeff Dimon. Over to Uri Kolnick. He can't get it past Ben O'Connor. Kolnick chooses to go to the bench. Matthew Raw can't get a clamp on it initially, but does eventually, and gets, in fact, a pass to the slot. And that's Marek Pinch to play it. Robert Lakovic on penalty killing duties, and certainly made a nuisance of himself on the forecheck for the Sheffield Steelers. Jace Coyle intentionally wide, and Colton Fretter will collect the carom. That's Dowd. He tried to play it down low. Has a second chance, is more successful on the second try. Jace Coyle pinching in. Debian covering for him. Sheffield Steelers working the exterior here on the outskirts of the defensive zone. He's giving his marching orders. Colton Fretter is. Jace Quill in point position. Over to Tyler Mosienko by the half wall. He's going to have a walk inside and have a little sniff. No dice. Debian, high slot opportunity. Rebound quite fat, in fact, in the slot, but Panthers managed to clear it out. Well done there by the penalty killers, as only 10 seconds remain of the Steelers' power play. Robert Farmer ready to get out of the gate as Colton Fretter tries to dangle past Andy Bomback. He gets a skate on it. Jace Coyle, he'll do the spinorama around Evan Mosey. Russ Moyer off the glass. Andy Bomback's there to meet it. The carom goes in the way of the Sheffield Steelers, and Colton Fretter backhanded over to Paul Swindlehurst by Mika Weekman. Now Farmer's coming through the neutral zone, a 3-on-3. Evan Mosey, he puts on the brakes, starts to spin it, and it goes right to the stick of Luke Ferreira. Now that's Hewitt. A tough customer in his own right. That's out of his zone, and Rod Sarich has to float it in, but nobody can go chasing for it before the zone is cleared. Robert Farmer trying to fence that puck away, and does so. Russ Moyer managed to evade David Ling. And icing is going to be the call. 47 seconds left of the second period here at the National Ice Center. Offensive zone face-off. Being icing, of course, that means the Sheffield Steelers unit must stay on the ice. The floor is yielded to Brad Moran and friends. By the way, David Ling is set up. It looks like Brad might want to play to David Ling, and he could have a go at slapping it. Now it's Debian getting it low in the ever so silent National Ice Center, for now at least. That's batted out of the air, and Mosienko got it. Jeff Dimon and Debian both give a chase. David Clark gets the easy pickings out of that. That's David Ling. Tried to go with the bank pass. No icing on the play. 10 seconds left of the second period. Zach Fitzgerald maneuvering behind his own net, trying to find Debian. Jeff Dimon managed to disturb that pass. Backtracking, David Ling will bleed the clock dry. 4-1 is the score after second period. The Panthers are going to need a whale of a third to come back into this one. Stay with us, folks. Folks, time for the last period over here at the National Ice Center. 4-1 is the score in favor of the visiting Sheffield Steelers. Brad Moran on face-off duties. And Schultze, what do the Panthers need to do to get back on track here?
I think we just need to play desperate this period and take some chances and try and get that forecheck going early and often.
If there are any silver linings to this situation, we know that the Panthers are a resilient squad and have come from behind before, as Brad Moran was knifing in, and now that's Brian Schmidt. He lets one go. A slapper saved by Marek Pintz. And that's perhaps what you were talking about, just getting on net.
Yeah, get a lot of traffic to the net and get pucks there and just battle away.
Jeff Dimon left it over to Juraj Kolnick, who floats it ahead. They were at the tail end of their shift. That lasted about 38 seconds. Does that sound about right? Is that what a shift length should be, about 38 seconds?
Yeah, about 35 to 45 seconds, and get the new guys on, get ready to get back out there.
Now that's Steve Lee. Changed his mind after the long pass play back to Dimon, but now gets it anyway. He feathered it forward. That was played by Russ Moyer. Kyle Hardy in the neutral zone. He's going to do a little bit of a boogie over there. Marek Pintz can't get a good grasp of that, and now David Clark, bit of miscommunication there. Matthew Myers knifing into the slot, trying to tip that one in. Three Panthers got a bit clustered there for a while. Kyle Hardy coming in hot. Now that Steve Lee boots it ahead to himself. Chris Lawrence was there on the forecheck for Sheffield Steelers. Now Steve Lee is going to twirl back in. Finds Andy Bomback. A nice looking dish over to Kyle Hardy. Backhanded wide, and Colnetti's there to take it. Kyle Hardy making nuisance though. That's Debian. He can't get there in time, and Evan Mosey swats it back. Steve Lee had the possession and changed the puck carrier to Kyle Hardy. Kyle Hardy goes to the bench, and Andy Bomback can't carry it through the neutral zone. Tyler Mosienko, Mika Weekman, well positioned for that save. The hot potato caroming off the lip of the boards, and Andy Bomback was the puck carrier. Paul Swindlehurst jumping up on the play. Chips it ahead to himself. Marek Pintz forced to just kind of poke that away. That's out in the neutral zone, and Jeff Waugh is there to claim. Relayed over to Paul Swindlehurst, and Farmer does the dangle around Matthew Roy, who, to be honest, was looking a bit half-hearted at that point in terms of his forecheck. Marek Pintz gloves it down, and we're going to have an offensive zone face-off for the GMB Nottingham Panthers as fans regain their seats. 17-17 left of the final stanza over here at the National Ice Center. As we mentioned on top of the program here, it's great to see Brad Moran back in action. He was ailing a bit in Cardiff, but good to see him A-OK. Matthew Roy chipping in below the goal line, but Jeff Dimon collects it at the half wall. Pass to the slot, Uri Kolnick can't get a shot away, and that's over to Jeff Dimon now in the slot. Robert Farmer working in tight quarters there. Brad Moran by the half wall, Brian Schmidt in point position, played it across, a shot, and a goal! Jeff Dimon with the initial shot. It went behind Marek Pintz. Did perhaps Farmer get a stick on it?
Yeah, it looked like Robert got his stick on that and was able to put the puck in the net.
Panthers claw one back, 16:51, and only a 2-goal deficit left for the home team.
It's a great play by Mo to find Schmitty up top, and Schmitty faked the shot and slid it over to Dimon for the one-timer, and Farmer's there to pick up the garbage.
That's perhaps what the Panthers needed here. The crowd is fired up. We still have over 3/4 of the final period left to play. Perhaps a different atmosphere. Yeah, indeed, Uri Kolnick will be credited with that goal. I miscalled that one, and that's Steve Lee with a shot. Marek Pintz didn't see that. David Clark wiped out, but has the puck now. Marek Pintz out to play it. And that's up and over. No delay of game time because referee judged it to hit the glass on its way out. Now, certain people will call the goal Panthers just scored a garbage goal, but they all count, right, Schultze?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how they go in as long as they do, right?
That's right. The scoreboard is not for painting pictures. And Debian will turn around and get it deep. The puck rolling on its edge. Andy Bomback working it in his own zone. Jeff Waugh left it over to Andy Bomback. Looking for that outlet pass. Opts to go with Paul Swindlehurst. He calls his own number. Perhaps the Steeler got something of it. On the way, that's off the glass. Mosienko gloves it down, not gracefully but successfully. Evan Mosey turns around. Mosienko off the apron. And that's sent in deep. Brian Schmidt, he's carrying the biscuit over to David Link. Tries to feather one forward to Brad Moran. It got there, but perhaps not the route that Link wanted. And now Frederick Vesberg in the offensive zone. Mika Weekman gets his options erased from him quite quickly by the forechecking Sheffield Steelers. Matthew Roy had it briefly. who gets it again. Beats Schmidt in the high slot. Colton Fretter rebound, goes to the right. Sharp angle, and had Matthew Raw been a right-handed shot, that could have ended differently for the Panthers, but it, fortunately for the home team, it didn't. We're 9 seconds past of the first quarter of the third period. Certainly a different hockey game in terms of the atmosphere at the National Ice Center compared to the second period, and that will be in the favor of the hosts. Try to energize this 7,000 headed crowd, and they will try to do the same. Robert Dowd getting tangled up with Kyle Hardy, and that's an easy call to make for the referee. Holding call happened right in front of him and was extended as well. Kudos to Hardy for drawing that penalty. Mika Weekman checking his paraphernalia there. Get those straps on that left pillow nice and tight.
Power play time for the Panthers.
Matthew Myers. He's gonna take the face-off in that Earthing Services face-off circle, who also happen to be our match sponsors tonight. They will get to choose the man of the match. David Ling at the half wall, skating down low, moving all the way there, trying to look for a clever little pass there, ladled on ahead to his teammate Andy Bombach. Now Matthew Myers had it briefly. Andy Bombach at the half wall, cross ice pass to David Ling, who is on his off wing on that left hand side. One timer by Andy Bombach, couldn't get it to go. Panthers looking venomous so far. Andy Bombach on the delay. I think that caught a piece of Zach Fitzgerald. Bombach again. Pivotal so far in this particular shift. Over to the skate of Matthew Myers. He'll get it back to Bombach. Now Kyle Hardy in point position at the half wall. Assessing his options as Andy Bombach opts to go for the shot. I believe that's off a penalty killer. And David Ling will corral. He finds David Clark in the slot area, and that shot got ramped up, which of course means that the faceoff stays in the defensive zone of the Sheffield Steelers. Still 56 seconds left of the power play. And if the Panthers can strike, it'll be a one-goal hockey game. That's Farmer, and that carom goes right to the paddle of Marek Pintz, and Sheffield Steelers had that puck in control, and now Steve Lee gets it behind his own net. Watch out, Juraj Kolnick coming down the right on the money. That pass. 7,000 officials wanted a penalty call there. Looked shoulder to shoulder from our vantage point though. Brad Moran backhanded over to Steve Lee, and David Ling has the beanbag and has a shot. Marek Pintz will gobble that up. 13:02 left of the third period here, folks. 22 seconds left of the holding infraction that's still being served by Robert Dowd in the sin bin. What do you think of the power play so far?
Well, they're definitely creating a lot of chances and getting pucks to the net. Saw Bomber just miss the net just wide on 2 of those occasions with the net front screen by Matthew Myers.
As of course, Matthew Myers is very effective in front of the net, and he knows his role and tends to go there and camp in front of the goaltender. Panthers working the exterior. Juraj Kolnick, cross ice to Steve Lee, fakes the slapper. Centering pass by Brad Moran, loose puck, hack and whack time. Panthers can't get it to go. Dowd returns and is on the playing surface. Brad Moran still has the puck though. Panthers going on a line change, but still managed to retain possession in the offensive zone. We got 3 new guys on the ice though. What a feed by Brad Moran. Jeff Waugh can't get it to go.
Good patience by Mo, and Wazzy went all the way around to the back door and unfortunately just couldn't bury it.
And back the other way, Debian sailing one high. In point position, they try to keep it in. David Clark loses his twig. I believe that's for the second time this game. Robert Lakovic is there to meet that puck. Colnetti tried to feather it away, pass through the high slot, fed over to Jeff Waugh, who has a shot, blockered away by Marek Pintz. Centering pass once again. Pintz is down. The net is off one of its moorings. Panthers causing havoc right in front of the goaltender Marek Pintz. And as a goal scorer, Schultze, what do you see when you look at Marek Pintz and his playing style, the goaltender?
I mean, he seems to be a smaller goalie, so if I was shooting on him, I definitely look to try and beat him up over the shoulders, and seems to go down on a lot of shots.
Andy Bombach to take the face-off to the right of Marek Pintz behind the cage. Sheffield Steelers will be there to claim it. Away fans making their support heard for the traveling Sheffield Steelers. Raw and Jeff Dimon engaged down low. Raw managed to get it out, wrap around attempt with that backhand. Can't get that clinical finish on it. Andy Bombach coming in. He'll wipe out, but try to hustle to keep it in. Jeff Dimon on the back pedal. Over to Cam Jansen. He tipped it forward. Cam Jansen fakes the sharp angle bid. David Ling at the half wall. Jeff Dimon looking for a tip in front. The puck is loose. A hack and whack session going off in the slot. Panthers not the beneficiaries of that particular one. Ling and Dimon on the interchange. Ling just tries to get something on net, but this time they got stopped. Mosienko gets it in below the goal line. Touch pass over to Matthew Myers. That escapes him though. In the neutral zone, Jeff Dimon has it. He's gonna try to dance in through. A little bit of baseball time. Stick lifts here and there. Men going over the board. Matthew Myers still managed to keep possession. David Clark in that high slot. He's dangerous from that area, but Marek Pintz gets the leather on that one. Definitely heard an interesting discussion going between Mika Wiekman and David Clark a few days ago. David Clark obviously regarded as one of the better sharpshooters in the league, but he says Mika Wiekman is probably the only person who can guess where he's going. He reads him really well, so Clarky was complaining about that to Mika, who gets a good read on it. Would you say that Mika can read you as well? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got the. I mean, you shoot on him every day for an hour every day during the week, and you know he tends to pick up on guys, and so it's definitely tough to beat him in practice, just as the other teams struggle to beat him in the games.
That's Elite League's best netminder we're talking about statistically so far this season. Kyle Hardy, he's gonna slice through the neutral zone. The puck just escapes, and then Debian looking to corral that loose puck, just swatted it away, and Panthers get in down low. Coming in hot on the forecheck is Matthew Myers. Watch out. Big kaboom coming there. David Clark making sure that puck is stayed in. And you mentioned the word desperation, and I think that coupled with the word energy is perhaps two good adjectives to describe the third period so far for the Panthers. Colnetti tried to ladle it forward. That's Levi Nelson.
Fortunately, there was no high sticking penalty. It was a foul through the Sheffield Steelers stick on the pass.
Kyle Hardy now, he can show that he can put on the Jets. Uri Kolnick can't quite get there. Remember, we played 2.5 periods and legs are getting tired, especially coming after Cardiff. So if that's why you were thinking why Kolnick can't turn on the Jets, that could have been a contributing factor. Otherwise, had it been the first game of the weekend in the first period, he might have turned on the Jets and escaped with that one. Face off to the right of Mika Weekman. Andy Bomback will skirmish with Frederick Vestberg for possession. The hot potato bouncing all the way up, but in favor for the Sheffield Steelers. Andy Bomback takes the hit from goal scorer Frederick Vestberg. That goes up in the neutral zone. Sent in cross corner, but into the safety netting. And since that was done by the Sheffield Steeler, the face-off comes in the neutral zone. David Ling's on the ice, a 2+1 effort last night. Bomback and Vestberg on the face-off dot. Matthew Raw tried to boot it forward. Dimon was there to intercept it, and now Evan Mosey puts down the anchors and has a shot off the stick of Marek Pintz. And a centering pass, and now Colton Feder coming back the other way. He's got no running mates there with him as they went briefly and got stuck behind the play. Either way, he manages to win that board battle. Good hustle by Colton Feder. Now Frederick Vestberg will take over, relayed over to Roy, and a shot from the point. I believe Brian Schmidt got a good chunk of that. Cross ice to David Ling. A little finesse over to Brian Schmidt, who'll surveil his options. Evan Mosey gets off the ice as the line change is complete. Matthew Myers trying to make a power move, but blows a tire on the way there. Now Tyler Masienko, sauce pass over to Debian with a shot. Top right corner. Right above the trapper, and Steelers lead 2-5, 7:45 left of the closing period. That was a dandy looking shot.
Yeah, they just threw it out, went D to D and then weak side, and I think Tim's just trying to pick that pass off at this point of the game, and fortunately just got through and able to get it on the 2-on-1 and pick the top corner over Mika's glove.
The prize is £1,623.
Looks like it kind of took the sails out of the building with that one.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right there, Schultze. That Debian finish was quite a neat one, coming in off his off wing. Of course, gets the advantage of the angle. Now Jeff Waugh. He gets it to Cam Jansen, who was at the blue line, but that puck comes back out in a hurry, gloved down by Paul Swindlehurst. And I've noticed Swinney's not afraid of getting up into the play. He'll do the chip and chase all by himself if he needs to.
Yeah, when you tend to have the puck and most of the momentum, if he can get going on that, it's obviously a good jump. And one of the forwards is responsible for covering his position.
That's Zach Fitzgerald, a tough customer in his own right. Lawrence at the corner, met there by Steve Lee. They're making a snow cone together and jousting along those corner boards. The battle moving up to the half wall, and Panthers are the victors of that particular battle. Matthew Raw tries to swat it forward. Chris Lawrence tries to get that loose puck. Steve Lee blows a tire and goes into the boards. Luckily doesn't seem to be getting up too gingerly and can continue to play. And that could have been very dangerous. Frederick Vestberg was there, but Robert Lakovich coming back the other way, backhanded wide, and now Juraj Kolnick's there to collect. He'll cycle it down low, and Andy Bomback's there. That twig's a bit in the way, and funny looking Karen to Kyle Hardy, who's gonna tee one up, a knuckle puck that was on its side. Hit the half wall and down low, Andy Bomback with a twirl there, and Steelers get it out of the zone. Colton Fretter and Jeff Dimon go crashing into those corner boards. Kyle Hardy cross rink to Evan Mosey. He beats his man Saric. Tried to make that move and back on the backhand, but too many sticks in the way to maneuver. Mika Weekman saw that was going to his left. Evan Mosey now. We're gonna have a penalty call here. And that looked like an easy call to make. Elbowing is going to be the infraction.
Yeah, it didn't look like much, but obviously the ref saw it differently. And hopefully we can get a quick one here in the last 5 minutes and try and pick away at this 3-goal deficit.
Yeah, it's interesting how reading so many people's comments, people tend to give up way too early. And somebody's grandson is on the ice, and Tyler Mosienko, his grandfather, he scored a hat trick in the NHL in 21 seconds, which is pretty quick. That's their record, and that's why Tyler wears 21 as well in a shot that goes high. That's just to show that 3 goals are possible to be scored in 21 seconds. Improbable, possible. David Ling cross ice to Brad Moran. That came elevated and he couldn't get it down. Robert Farmer gets it to point position. Steve Lee maneuvering on the exterior. Brad Moran throws it across. David Ling was cheating over a bit and had to backpedal. Brad Moran gets on his backhand. Over to Steve Lee, who managed to keep it in despite it bouncing a bit. That deflected off Chris Lawrence's blade. Brad Moran below the goal line. Feed to center. But Chris Lawrence was there. Frederick Vesper getting in deep. Still a little over 1 minute left of the power play for the host Nottingham Panthers. David Ling showcasing his stride. That's Matthew Myers, managed to fend off the pressure of Zach Fitzgerald. Kyle Hardy's going to tee one up, and that ramped up.
Please keep on the puck on signs with Warrior.
I must add to my previous point, when Bill Mosienko did score his hat trick in 21 seconds, that was done in the 50s, which of course was a different era back then.
Just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the goaltending of course has improved, and so has the defensive systems. But either way, 4:20 is still enough time for 3 goals. Kyle Hardy over to Evan Mosey, and that got blocked. Zach Fitzgerald taking the brunt of that. Kyle Hardy with another chance. He's teeing them up. Andy Bomback takes a spill, can't get to the puck, and Mika Weekman's out there to play it. Coach Corey Nielsen deploying some new members, and Sheffield Steelers getting a new penalty killers. Evan Mosey, clever little pass to Andy Bomback, and he gets tripped. And that is a very blatant trip, and if you're gonna trip, you better trip like that, go all the way. Panthers with a 5-on-3 for 21 seconds. This could be a game changer.
Definitely, you get one here quick, and then still have another minute 40, minute 50 left on the 5-on-4. If all goes according to plan, hopefully.
Power play for the GMB Nottingham Panthers. Come on, Nottingham,
3:49, folks, and Ken Feast, the DJ, encouraging the Panthers fans to contribute with their support. We're gonna have a redo on that face-off. Mika Weekman's getting to the bench quickly. And there we go. Coach Corey Nielsen has pulled the goaltender 6-on-3. You don't see 6-on-3s too often.
Should be able to pull the goalie. There shouldn't be any reason why you wouldn't be able to at this point, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused. As to Mika Weekman cannot be pulled.
Might be because of the face-off. It was a false start, so that's the only reason I could think of, Eddie.
Yeah, but then accordingly they need to put up time back on the clock if that's going to be the case. Brad Moran is excused from the face-off dot. Mika Weekman hanging around by the blue line. And that nearly goes into Panthers net.
Yeah, that would have been quite the outcome right there against us, unfortunately, but luckily it didn't go in.
Panthers 6-on-3. Can they make it count? David Ling, plenty of traffic in front of the net. That shot goes wide. Mike Pinch was down briefly. Back to David Ling. Over to David Clark, who scores! He powders that past Marek Pinch.
Unfortunately, that was the guy came out of the box, and so just a second or two late, and looks like it'll be 5-on-5, 6-on-5 here. I think David's going to talk about the extra 1 second that we lost,
because that could have been pivotal. Had those couple seconds not been put back on the clock, the Steeler might have still been in the penalty box.
Yeah, but I think it was still, the guy was back into the play, so it might have been, I think it'd be correct, unfortunately.
You can't blame Captain David Clark for trying, though.
No, definitely. I mean, you got to try and get away with whatever you can at this point in the game.
3-5 is the score. Captain Clutch with the goal. 6-on-3 paying dividends for the Panthers, even though I believe that was a 6-on-4 when it was scored. Matthew Ross cycling it down low. Colton Fretter getting a rough ride from Brian Schmidt, who was pinning him into the boards. Now that's David Ling, a rolling puck. Over to Evan Mosey, who's coming in hot. Pass to the high slot. The trailer is Andy Bomback. Can't get it to go. Puck loose in the slot. Another shot. Trickling in the blue paint.
Wow. Chaos on the ice right now in front of the net.
Over to point position. That's Jeff Demon. One time by Andy Bomback. Rebound. They score! The Super Slovak with a tally. 2:35 left on the clock. Juraj Kolnick coming through in the clutch. It's a one-goal game, folks. This is not how Coach Kurt Nielsen was drafting it in the dressing room, I believe, but we're just one goal away from a tie hockey game.
And there's still plenty of time and 2.5 minutes left in the game.
Not only is it a one-goal game, the Panthers have the momentum of the crowd. Panthers have the momentum in the game. The support is sublime. This team does not give up. Resiliency is the key word. Mika Weekman playing it with his backhand. Forehand it over to Kyle Hardy. He's spinning it along. And Juraj Kolnick, he'll bat it down. David Clark with the puck now. Kolnick was offside, and Levi Nelson comes back the other way. He'll ladle on forward. Steve Lee is going to go there to meet it. Kyle Hardy looking for the outlet pass. Opts to go with the captain, David Clark, who's coming in through the neutral zone. Juraj Kolnick is deemed to be offside.
I think Juraj just lifted his trailing leg at the last second, unfortunately.
Yeah, I believe you're right there, because you must have that skate on the blue line or neutral ice. And even though it was hovering on top of it, it wasn't actually physically planted there. And offside is going to be the call.
2 minutes and 1 second remaining in the third with Earthing Services. Are you here with the Steelers? Or are you here with the GMB Nottingham Panthers?
Wow, that's some noise that the Panthers faithful are making.
Last 2 minutes to play.
And Mika Weekman looking over at Coach Corey Nielsen, asking when is he going to be pulled. There we go, Coach Corey Nielsen makes that gesture. Mika Weekman, Evan Mosey coming in. Brian Schmidt with a shot. We have a player whose equipment has come off.
unless it hit him in the head, I don't see why the whistle, maybe it did catch him in the back of the head and that's why the whistle was blown.
It was Russ Moyer who got debucketed.
If that's the case, he should have to go off here.
I have to agree with you there. Schultze in a timeout. 1:41 left of the third period. Coach Corneliussen's timeout. The crowd was falling into a lull a bit, but the boys gave them something to cheer about.
Yeah, definitely scoring those 2 quick goals and down by 1 here, and it looks like we're gonna have a 6-on-5. Not sure how much time is left. I think there's a minute and a half.
Yeah, I think it's minute 34, if memory serves. And it doesn't serve, it's 1:41. Hope you can hear this at home, because this crowd is lively. Brad Moran at the face-off duties. 5 forwards, 1 D-man, and that's Kyle Hardy, who gets the puck. He'll put on the brakes and backpedal a bit. Cross ice to David Lang, who played it down low. Opportunity for Uri Kolnick. 1 more for Kyle Hardy. Kyle Hardy's there to keep that puck hot. Just get backwards and play it back below the goal line. Pass intercepted. Kyle Hardy moving quickly and swiftly back to gain possession. Brad Moran, he gets a good handle on it. Uri Kolnick ahead. And that's gloved down by Marek Pintz. Matthew Myers with a bid. .107, 67 ticks left of the third period, folks. Edge of your seat material right here at the National Ice Center in the Sunday matinee. Brad Moran just discussing with David Ling what he's going to do off the face-off. 2 decorated veterans with their respective accolades. Now below the goal line, over to David Ling. So much traffic in the net. He opts to go to the right instead, where Brad Moran is. Another shot that's ramped up and hits the glass at the end. Steelers are going to try to deliver the coup de grace unsuccessfully. Sharp angle bid by Frederick Vestberg. A back check and Brad Moran got in the way. Kyle Hardy and the support of the Panthers faithful. Frederick Vestberg with the puck now. Cullen Eddy's trying to pitch in. Steelers break out on the left. Saucer pass by Levi Nelson. And that's the exclamation point for this game. Steelers net the empty netter. 17 seconds left. And visiting Steelers are up by 2. Could you shed some light why Steve Lee's protesting?
I think they, when they cleared the puck, they weren't sure if there was icing or not. I think they were talking to the linesman about why there was no signal, whether it was waved off or whether it wasn't need icing.
Oh, right.
Then it would have created a foot race.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So, but I believe the Steeler players still beat the Panthers players down the ice.
Nice spot in Schultze. And that puck is deflected out of play. 11.7 seconds left of the third period here. Mixed reactions from the Panthers fans, some leaving, but some still clapping, showing their gratitude for the black and gold for putting on a show. Paul Swindelhurst is going to Heard slice through the neutral zone. The glove down by Marek Pintz. He plays it to his right. And that's the name of that tune. Sheffield Steelers win 6-4, the final score in favor of the traveling Whites. Now, post-game festivities, of course, the coveted man of the match would be awarded to whom, according to you, Schultze?
It's tough to say. I mean, their goalie definitely made some big saves on their end, and obviously a couple goals by Leroy, I think. But overall, it's weren't able to get the 2 points tonight, and the Steelers were able to hold on to that lead.
Cam Jansen and Zach Fitzgerald stopping to whisper some sweet nothings to each other. Of course, a lot of attention. Yeah, thank you, Schultze, for joining me today.
Always a pleasure, Eddie. Thanks.
Final shots on goal tally, 34 apiece. High scoring affair, this one. 6-4. Tyler Mosienko receiving the man of the match recognition from Earthing Services, our match sponsor. Now we're gonna have the Flower Vision bouquet ceremony. Panthers gonna launch those bouquets up into the stands.
Now before the GMA Panthers Match Award, we have the Flower Vision UK giveaway, which is in association with Sophie's Flowers.
Of course, Sophie's Flowers providing the flowers for tonight's game.
See if you can catch on.
I believe this is only the second regulation loss Panthers have taken so far in this season.
Okay, now the match award for the GMA Panthers this evening goes to number 24, Brad Moran.
24, man of the match for the Nottingham Panthers. That's, of course, Brad Moran. Watch Evan Mosley right now. He loves photobombing these sponsor photos. And that's the name of that tune, folks. Thank you for joining us. However, the Sheffield Steelers managed to edge out the Nottingham Panthers this time.